Greetings, YouTube. Today I thought I'd talk about some of my other rings in my collection, and this is the current selection I have available. I get the feeling I'm missing at least one from this that I don't know where it is, and I have given away at least one other ring that I had in my collection. I gave it to my mother because I wasn't wearing it. Also in this drawer, I realized when I opened it up, I had a couple of other pieces in here. This is a glass rod. It's obviously hand blown, comes to a narrow point. This here is fluted. I'm not sure in any way, shape, or form what this thing is. None. It was my grandfather's, potentially his father's, and I have no idea what it is. Anybody can tell me what that is? I would really love to know. Be interesting, but it's in my collection. And I have this, which is a Chinese bronze knife coin. This is a coin that evolved out of actual Chinese blank bronze knives. People would make them and then they would finish them themselves. They became such a common form of currency, of trade item, that they evolved into a coin proper. I mean, they're very thin. They can't actually use this as a knife at all, even if you wanted to. It'd be difficult. They're not all that common, and it took me quite a long time to actually locate one. I'm very happy to have it in my collection. But on to rings. Alrighty, I'm not going to go in any particular order. We'll just try this one's loose because it doesn't fit into any slots. This is a wooden ring, and I gotta be honest with you, I can't remember the wood it's made out of. And I wore this for quite some time. I happen to like it. It's incredibly light. It weighs nothing. It's really quite amazing. Might be birch. I'm not positive. It's a good wood for bending, but I'm not sure. So this is actually, I believe, a laminate made out of a single piece. It was bent into this shape. I don't think it was machined out of this. I really don't, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to put that in the corner. We'll take out this one next. Obviously a ring that I don't wear often. Well, for two reasons. One, it doesn't fit me anymore. And two, it's from the Boy Scouts of America. I was an active member of the Boy Scouts of America from when I was a Cub Scout up through when I was a Scout. And I left at age 14. Yeah, I guess 14. I guess I finally got around to leaving. And as people from my channel know, I'm a survivor of sexual abuse at the hands of my Scoutmaster. It's a really good reason why I don't like the Scouts. But for some reason, I still possess the ring. Here we go. This is a silver ring with a lapis lazuli stone. And it's got some nice overall work in here. I don't remember who made this piece. I picked it up at the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen many years ago. And it's not, frankly, it's not really my style anymore, but it's still in my collection. And here we have one. This one, if I remember correctly, if I could find it. Maybe not. There's somewhere on this ring there is a nick that was actually put in place because someone bit me. And it couldn't have annoyed me too much because then I went and married her, my first wife. This is a silver ring with a hematite setting. I'm a big fan of hematite. I'm always liked this stone. And I kind of like the open, almost twig-like structure of this particular ring. And it's obviously a big ring. It's not something that you would wear in a subtle way. Let me put it on. See if it'll actually fit in any of my fingers anymore. Just barely on that one. I'm not going to go any further because I don't want to get it stuck. But yeah, it's obviously it's a big ring. So we can put that one back. Then we have this one is obviously a pentacle, and I wore this as a thumb ring, which is why it's a little on the larger side because I stopped wearing thumb rings. This got some cutout work here, which I quite liked. I kind of like the piercings, and it's just this very simple silver ring. I think I picked that up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. if I really remember correctly. Here we have a basic, very simple woven silver ring, reminiscent of Celtic knotwork. I'm a big fan of Celtic knotwork, and this is an early ring in my collection. And I think, I don't know, I think it may be a little, the scale of my hand, it may be a little on the small side, not quite wide enough. And this ring, I fell in love with when I saw it. It's a very heavy, chunky piece of silver. And the outside is actually round. So these diamond-shaped spots, if you were to look at it in this way, it's actually round. But then the edges have been shaped, so you get all these points. So it very much looks like a piece of machinery to my mind. It looks like a nut. And that was a ring that I wore on my middle finger. And I really, really love this ring. I mean, if I weren't wearing my first wedding ring from my current marriage as on my right hand, this would be the ring I would be wearing. Because I love this thing. I really, really do. And I can't bring myself to not wear the other ring. It just seems appropriate that I should wear it. But this is an awesome ring. It has a lovely weight to it. It just feels nice. And it's one of my favorite pieces I've ever found. Then we have this ring, which actually, let's see if I can still get it to. Yep, the center still turns. It probably needs to be a little bit of cleaning. And the base is silver, and this is a copper insert. And then it rotates, so it's definitely and it is a thumb ring, and it's something that I would twiddle with constantly when I was wearing it. But again, I don't wear thumb rings any longer, so I stopped wearing that one. And then we have this ring, which is got a nice deep indication in here, and it at one time was a functioning twiddle ring. You see it's a functioning twiddle ring? It is a nice twiddle ring, but I like this because this came up a little further, the lip, and it had a nice rounded edge, which I liked. So that's also a twiddle ring of some variety. And this is a silver on silver version, which I also quite like. And I like the scale of this one better, I think. You look at it. The one here in my right hand is a better scale, I think, than the one in my left hand. And this would be one, and definitely, if I went back to wearing, like I could pull that look off. I still think, maybe, possibly, but I just got tired of wearing thumb rings, so I stopped wearing them. And last but not least, no, I got to find something in this ring. If you'll excuse me, I have to take it off screen for a second if I can find it, because my eyesight is not the best. I'm not locating it, and I apologize. I don't know where the heck it is inside this thing. But the reason I'm looking on the inside of this ring is actually a coin. This was made by my grandfather while on board a troop carrier on his way to the Pacific Theater, because he was in the Navy, and he was one of the people that delivered troops to occupy Japan after the bombs were dropped. He was in Nagasaki 6 weeks after the bomb was dropped. And en route, he made this, and he made a number of other pieces I've got in my collection. I should probably do a video about those pieces. He made a couple other things along the way. One thing he made that I don't have is what he had made handmade a wooden box to carry home Japanese rifles. I have one of those in my collection, one of the Japanese rifles he brought home. But I don't have the box. I'm always kind of bummed about that. Interesting little side story about this. My grandfather was a machinist mate and was quite clever at things mechanical, and the bread would not rise on their ship because it was a retrofitted ship. So the kitchen galley had not been where it was supposed to originally been in the plan. So the vents for the ovens were inefficient. So to get the bread to rise, because the captain decreed, "My bread shall rise," my grandfather climbed up the smokestack and installed a fan on the top of the smokestack, which then pulled the smoke out of the stack because it had cooled so much by the time it got to the stack, it wasn't getting enough of a draft. So he put the fan up there, pulled out the smoke, which let the air pressure change enough, and the bread rose in the ovens. The captain apparently was quite pleased. But this is a ring that I don't wear often. It's very, very treasured to me, and I don't want to lose it. But I think it fits It's a little bit loose on that. It might fit on my middle finger. Let me check. Does that fit on my middle finger? Yes, it does. I also think it's not quite to my scale, to my hand. But it's also very, very light. I mean, it was made out of a coin. But I think this is from 1937. I think the coin was from 1937. But there you go, folks. This has been my collection of rings. And if anybody out there can tell me what the heck this thing is, I would really appreciate it.